All righty.
Hello, everybody. Jack Olmsted. I'm coming to you from Port Townsend, Washington, and today we are going to be talking with Lucy Kovalova out of Wichita, Kansas, and also we have on our panel Claudia Fontana. She's from Independence, Missouri, Ohio, Independence, Ohio, just outside of Cleveland. And she has written a book on pickleball called Pickleball CPR Drills. And we're going to be talking to Lucy about the drills and skills that she used to win a silver medal at Nationals this year. So why don't you kick it off here, Claudia?
Oh, all right. Thank you. And hello, everyone. And okay, Lucy, we'll just kind of go through a couple things before we get going with drills. So what was your first thoughts when you heard about pickleball? I know you come from the tennis world. What were your first thoughts when you heard of the word pickleball?
Well, hello, everyone. Okay, so first time when I heard pickleball, I was like, what is pickleball? Like, that name was like, didn't ring the bell at all. And it was like, pickleball? I don't know. So then I Googled it, pickleball, and I saw some YouTube videos, and we're like, oh, okay, that's kind of interesting game. And I've heard it first time when we brought the pickleball courts club. So then we just start playing it, completely in wrong strategy. We didn't know what's going on, but then we learned how to play and just kept playing it.
Okay.
We are still not really familiar with the pickleball name, but I don't think it's going to change ever, so just go with that.
It's unique. I know. It's just if they change it, it's going to be like, oh, what would they change it to? It's just like, it's pickleball. Let's go play some pickle.
So Lucy, when you heard pickleball, you didn't think of pickles and balls. You just thought, whatever, it's a name, pickleball, right?
I honestly didn't know what to think. Because, okay, so it's pickleball, it's some sport with ball, but I didn't know if it's with paddle or if it's with any other equipment. So then, really, I didn't really had an idea what is it. So after I Googled it, and I was like, oh, the paddle looks like a paddle ball or like paddle regular for like platform tennis or something. So I was like, okay, it'll be similar game. Okay, let's play it.
Very good. All right. So what's your favorite part about pickleball? I mean, you've only been playing since April for the most part, competitively. What is your favorite part about pickleball? What do you like the best?
So I started to play pickleball actually a year ago.
Oh, okay. Competitively since April.
And competitively since April, that's right.
Okay.
So what's my favorite part? I would say tournaments. So after the first tournament, before we went there, we didn't even know what's going on. But after US Open, I personally loved it. I loved the atmosphere, I loved the people, players, like everything. So just because of that atmosphere and seeing pickleball people, it's worth it. Completely travel and play tournaments.
Yeah.
I think that's my favorite part.
I've never really been in the tennis scene. I come from volleyball, softball, and more team sports. So do you feel as though, and no disrespect to anybody from tennis to pickleball, but do you feel as though the pickleball group are a little bit more welcoming, or the tennis group, or they're similar? Not even, no disrespect out there to anybody.
I would say the pickleball people are more friendly and welcoming. We didn't really think we are gonna create a buzz after the first tournament. We were like, everyone was so nice to us. They wanted to see us like coming to next tournament and when are you gonna play next, and it was great atmosphere coming from tennis world, because tennis and tennis tournaments are tough. Everyone just wants to win. In pickleball, you compete on court, but as soon as the match is over, you are friends and you go to get a drink or get a dinner or something.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been in to the big ranks of the nationals and playing those tournaments. I've pretty much been local tournaments or local sanctioned tournaments here. But I see that around where we are, I mean, after the game, and even at the nationals, I mean, people are changing partners left and right. So it's just like, I mean, you see, you know, Jennifer playing with one male partner one week, and then the next week she's playing with somebody else. So you don't see that too often at the tennis ranks, do you?
Yes. Yes.
So
it's completely different. Like you play event, like let's say mixed doubles all day, and then as soon as the whole event is over, partners play some like fun games or play left-handed for another like hour or something. It's just fun. It's
just
like
to have fun.
Great experience.
Very good. Now, did you have any fears or you know, misconceptions or anything, that thoughts of like, oh, what's the big thing going to happen if I go over to pickleball? I mean, is it going to change? It's going to bust my tennis game up? I mean, I have some people here like, well, I'm not going to play pickleball because it's going to hurt my tennis game, or vice versa.
I didn't really thought about it that way. For me, it's just like something different, something to do, some fun activity or like a workout thing. So as soon as I'm not getting hurt, like I cannot play volleyball, let's say, because once I'm gonna hit the ball differently and I'm gonna like break my finger, it can affect my tennis game or my work.
Right.
But pickleball and other paddle sports are like related, so eventually I think all sports are helping each other. Whatever sport you're doing is gonna help you in other sport.
Yeah. I totally agree with that. So many students that I've coached in the past, I mean, their parents are like, okay, you're just going to play volleyball, and they play volleyball all year long, and one, they get burned out or they get overuse injury. And I used to play myself, and back in the 90s and early 2000s, many students played multiple sports. Mm-hmm. And I don't know about your experiences, but it seemed like the kids who were multiple sport players seemed to have a more athletic ability because of the crossovers. And they were able to take one sport and, you know, complement the other one.
And it's natural for them because, for example, if the kid does basketball, his movements or her movements on court will be much better than other, just like sitting at home all day.
Yeah.
Even though it's a different game, you're using some elements of every sport to use it in different game. Like let's say my volleys in tennis got much better because of pickleball. I used to do like a big backswing on my volleys if I have a lot of time, but in pickleball you can't do that because the ball is gonna like defense. So I had to like make it shorter, which means I'm using that same thing now in tennis, and my volleys are much better.
So the adjustments you've made now, how have you made the adjustments from crossing over from tennis to pickleball? Let's talk about some major adjustments as we talk into drills. What major adjustments have you made from tennis that you had to make from tennis to pickleball?
Well, the major adjustment for me is to really think about the bounce of the ball. Because my motions for my forehand, backhand, volley is pretty much the same. Just adjustment for me, it's the ball doesn't bounce as high, so I had to get way lower in pickleball. Especially when I hit the ground strokes in singles, because in doubles it's more about ding games and like hitting the ball, but in singles, especially when you are having from the baseline points, you need to get way lower than tennis.
Right. Yeah, because singles is a little bit more like tennis than it is in doubles. Doubles is a totally different game in that respect. So your adjustments were made there. Okay, so let's talk about your preparation for a game. What's your routine for a game? Okay, you're walking into the court area. What are you thinking about? What are you doing to prepare yourself for the game? Game day.
Okay, so game day. First of all, I need to make sure I have a nice clothes on me to feel good. I think half of it is how you are feeling that day.
It's confidence.
So it's confidence, exactly. So if you're waking up early with a smile on your face and you see sun outside and you are just having a good day, so just coming to court and just experience. Of course, everyone feels pressure because everyone wants to win, of course, but it's just, I don't know, I'm trying to be relaxed and just court and perform.
Does your game day of, hey, I'm going out to play at the tennis court or going out to play on pickleball court for the day, is your preparation different than tournament day? I mean, like, I'm talking about warm up, thought process. Hey, I'm getting myself psyched up just to go in,
Yeah,
or
I would say yes, because I think tournaments matters more. Because so if I'm going to play here, just practice matches or something fun, you're just you can be a little lazy at the beginning, or like first two games that are like warm-up games. But if you're playing a tournament, every point matters. It's
okay.
just you have to focus more, I would say.
What's your
Especially when you.
I'm sorry. What's your general warm up? What do you do for warm up? I mean, stretching wise. I mean,
I don't
do you take a lap? Do you take a lap around the court? Are you skipping, hopping, or basic stretches?
I try to stretch my legs because I know they will be used a lot, and then just like have a good warm up with my partner. Hit a lot if I can. I like to have longer warm up a little bit, so I warm myself up, and I think that would be it.
Okay, all right. Okay, so let's talk about, now you do teach, and you teach tennis. So yeah. Tennis and pickleball. I mean, when you're teaching either way, it's the same thing. So if you were to be teaching pickleball, let's break down a practice. Okay, you have somebody for an hour. They're coming in. What does your hour of practice look like? Is it? I mean, I have my Mandy comes in and I said, what do you want to work on today? And she always says, oh, everything. And we always laugh. I said, okay, so then, you know, we go through a routine. We have our own routine. What do you teach when you were teaching drills, or what does your hour kind of look like? Is it specific, or is it a little bit of everything?
So it depends, because for example, let's say I'm playing with, let's play like a fun game with like 3 other people, and then someone asks me at the end, it's like, oh, see, can I have a private view with you? How the person played, I know what we need to work on. So then it's gonna be more specific, because I know you like to play doubles. Let's do some doubles things. Let's do cross courts. Let's do down lines. But if someone just comes, Lucy, I never play pickleball, I want to play.
Right.
Then we go over. Start with like how to pull the paddle, hit everything early, and just go step by step, just explaining the general idea what pickleball is.
Very good. So if you broke it down, how much, if you said you were going to work on serving, basic ground stroke, and the soft game, how would you break that up? Would you spend like equal time on each of them, or would you say, hey, you know, your dink game's a little bit more, you know, not so great, let's spend a little bit more time here?
I think because, okay, so we are, how I do it, because we are Wichita Country Club, so I know all the members. So I know their background. If I know they have great tennis game, they're going to pick up ground strokes and serve like in 5 minutes.
Right.
Or someone has a great volleys but cannot get used to bouncing the ball so low in the ground strokes, then we're gonna work on that. Usually people have problem with the one-handed backhand there.
Yes.
I like to spend more time with that. But with tennis background, I usually focus on more like ding games, because it's tough. Yes, it's tough to get feel for a soft game, especially when people like they never done it before.
Okay, very good. Let's see here. So let's see. If you were going through a progression, meaning that you know, would you start in a progression of the game? If somebody's starting, they walk into practice. Now I start short to deep. I start them short to the net, to deep, and some people go in reverse. What is your philosophy on that? You start them further away from the court, or further away from the net, or closer to the net?
I like to start close to the net to get a feel for the ball first, and then move one step back, move one more step back, and then go to the baseline, so people can be already warm a little bit, have a feel for the ball, and then they can just like that's usually how I warm up.
Right, I totally agree with that. I've seen so many instructors, they're like, okay, they start in the back, and it's like, let's do a drop shot, and it's just like they're hitting the net every time. It's just like, well, they're having difficulty here. But I liked your comment about from tennis, the ground stroke, because it's interesting. We've had so many people come from tennis, and they come over and they go to take their big swing, and it's like the ball doesn't bounce, and it's like, no. So I don't know about you, but one of my tips to them is like, imagine you're hitting it with your hand. Just hit with your hand, and then they're like, oh, so then they're getting that paddle a little bit closer to them. So that's always an interesting thought process there. If you were to take the difference of the stroke, the long stroke to the short stroke, because pickleball is a shorter stroke. Walk me through how you have changed your game from that big long stroke to that shorter, keep it out in front of you stroke. I mean, if you had to think about it.
Well, I would say my forehand ground strokes, like from the baseline in pickleball, it's pretty same than in tennis. Because my game in tennis was very flat. Straight in front of me, that my tennis forehand was designed to be for pickleball eventually.
Really?
And I'm like, okay, really? Yeah. I have pretty flat strokes in tennis too. So like, no, your forehand is great in pickleball. It's just like your best shot. I was like, oh, okay, we'll use it. But I need to be careful with that because the ball can fly a lot. So it's still like, I'm not hitting it. I need to make adjustments. It depends on the weight and how the ball is literally used. But pretty much my forehand in tennis and pickleball is the same. In the soft game, I just paddle in front of me so I don't have time to do big back swings, and just like softly put it back on the other side and wait for a little higher ball so I can hit it in the air.
Okay. Some people, they live and die by the lob. There's some people that you don't see it too often at the higher levels, because the game is so much more controlled. Now, those of us who are not, 4-5, 5-0 players that don't always, that you have to emergency, hey, I got to throw in a lob. When would you or do you throw in a lob every now and then? And when would you do that if that was a tactic or strategy you'd use?
I throw lob once in a while in doubles, especially when I'm on my forehand side, which is on the right side. And I have like a ding rally, maybe down the line or cross, and I like to down the line above the player and on his backhand side. So even though the lob is not going to be that great, the person has a backhand volley, which is usually the weaker shot.
Mm-hmm.
And many people use that lob. So I never think about having lobs. But then I learned that few people did that, and it's like, oh, that might work, especially when it's unexpected completely. So once in a while I throw a lob, not often. I'm not really that used to it yet. And also another thing, sometimes I like to do it in singles. When I'm really pushed far on the backhand side and I cannot do anything with the backhand, I just like to have like from my backhand side deep cross court lob, which is longer court that way, and person really needs to back up and hit a great overhead. And if she hits that overhead, I can just say
a good shot.
Good shot.
Exactly. If they make it, it's clap for them. But so it's not always an offensive. So you use it more offensively and defensively fairly equally. So if it's defense, it's just like, hey, I just gotta get myself back into position more to reset myself or my team. Is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then
yes.
And then offensively, it's basically, hey, how to catch them off guard. We're into this dink game, and I call it a pop lob, and I'll just pop it over their head, get them back off balance. Okay, because we have a lot of people who think they can, lob from the backcourt. It's like, you're lobbing from the backcourt. 70% of them don't even make it past half court, and they're getting smashed back at.
Especially in doubles, it's if you are lobbing from behind the baseline, people can see it easily because you're on your back foot hitting the lob. Person is gonna back up 2 steps and they can hit overhead from the baseline already. Right. So I don't think it's when you are lobbing in doubles when you're behind the baseline. From ding,
Yes.
it's tricky shot because you're having ding ding, you're in the rhythm of ding, and suddenly someone throw a lob.
Right.
Oh, that's surprising.
Right.
But from I don't think it's that effective.
And thank you for that, because there's so many people out there, and I try to tell people, it's like, don't lob from the back, and they're like, well, let's get some back. It's like, the court is only 44 feet long, and you know, if you don't get it high enough, especially on a windy day, you don't know where it's going to go.
Mm-hmm.
Some of my friends, they were down at that Vegas tournament last month, and the winds were so crazy. They said, I mean, they were hitting as hard as they could from the baseline, and it was coming back at them, practically coming back over the net at them. So I'm like, well, good thing you didn't throw those lobs in there then.
And also,
go ahead.
Also in doubles, you have a half court to cover. So you need to take one more step to your left, and you still have overhead. In singles, I can see it's more effective because you're only one person on full court. So if you're hitting over their backhand, they don't have that much time because they still need to cover their right side. I'd say it's better, but in doubles, I don't really think so.
If all things were equal and you were in rhythm and everything, what would be your favorite shot, the shot you are looking for? Are you looking for the put away in let's talk double. Are you looking for the put away, or are you looking for the, hey, I'm setting up my partner, or whatever? What's the shot that you're looking for?
Favorite shot, it's definitely when you are staying up close to the net and having, like, for example, down the line ding rally, and someone needs a little ball high. I like to lean forward, and I love my forehand.
Yep.
Forehand ground stroke, forehand in the air, just go for it.
So that ball's about 12 inches over the net, and you're just jamming it down the throat. I think that's about everybody's favorite shot, but yes, that's fun.
I think.
So when you're playing doubles, okay, you're playing doubles, let's say mixed doubles, and you have a very dominant male partner who likes to cross over, which seems to be, and it's interesting. You don't see it too much at the lower levels of play. It seems to be equal. I mean, it's usually 50-50 for the most part. But as you move up in the ranks, and as we watch the skill levels increase, the higher skill level players, the male partner, the stronger, you know, unfortunately, they are the stronger of the species. But it's true. They tend to cover 60, sometimes 70, and even 80% of the court. Just for conversation's sake, what's your thoughts about that? Because you are a solid player, and you are capable of probably being the strong player as they are. What are your feelings about that? And again, no disrespect out there to those male partners.
I would say I am fine with that.
You're fine as long as the ball's put away, right?
Yeah, and it's like, I know that we are playing that style because it's more effective. I know it's not because, well, oh, I am the weaker player.
No.
So I have the knowledge that, okay, we are even on court, and I have to, and I am a target, and I have to actually make the point going, and then you can put it away. That's fine with that. I am completely fine.
So with that, because in general that seems to be a lot, you know, a good majority of the players, being you don't want to say the weaker player because you're certainly not. Do you find that you need to drill more on, will need to drill more on the dink, because that's primarily what most people are going to be sending to you?
Well, I would say if I play mix, I need to really focus on make the point going. But then also, like, many teams are thinking, oh, I will just like drill her, like ding, ding, ding. But then you put one ball, and I am ready. I'm taking the ball away. If I miss, I miss, but I am taking my chances.
Right. Okay. So you're
maybe
more aggressive.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
So I think that we are both aggressive. So if you give ball to him, it's done. If you give ball to me, it's usually done. But I miss more.
Yeah.
I think because I'm just like that.
Yeah. What's a 1-2 punch? Because I mean, if you both are equal along the way, dink wise, I mean, whoever gets the unforced error is gonna benefit, and you'd both be difficult to handle.
But I would say that the guys are usually moving faster and moving better, and they have the better reflexes. So if they feel that, oh, I'm gonna poach this ball because it's going that way, I was like, well, okay, go for it. Yeah, I am completely fine with that.
Yeah. Do you feel on the poach, as we're going in that direction, if the poach is there, do you feel as though there should be more of switching on, or he poaches, or your partner poaches, be it male or female? Do you feel as though there should be a switch if they come too far over, or do you expect they poach and they're going to go back? How do you feel about that, or what would you?
It depends on the partner, because I was playing mixed with Matt, and when he poaches, he's coming back. So I know every time he poaches, I'm going still to my side because I know his time to recover. He's just right there.
Okay.
He just hits and he recovers right away. But I was playing doubles, women's doubles with Irina, and then we said, like, if me or her, we poach, we are moving and we switch.
Move on the switch.
It's all about the communication, because it's what we feel more familiar with, or that if I want to poach and I'll just like keep going instead of like switching direction again, probably that would be a better strategy.
Okay. So when you go back to drilling a little bit, that's what we should be doing, right? What are the things, what does your day of practice, if you're doing pickleball for the day, okay, you're taking an hour, what's your favorite drills? What kind of things do you like to work on? And you're by yourself, or you've got, somebody hitting your balls, you've got a machine hitting your balls. What do you like to work on?
Well, what my favorite thing is, it's playing, actually, like playing games, and I think that's the best drill, because you see different balls, different situations. There's still pressure of like having a score. It's not like, oh, we can do whatever. We still want to win. Mm-hmm. So I think that's how I learn the best, actual playing. Mm-hmm. But drilling is also important. I usually like to do ding games, which I don't think someone could have heard me saying that half a year ago, but it's important. I know it. It's important. People are like, Lucy, you need to work on your ding games. Like, Lucy, that's the longest ding rally I've ever seen. I'm like, okay, I'm getting better. I'm working on it. So I think that needs to be my focus. More ding games, and especially still shorter on the volleys. Yeah, I need to work on that, especially on the backhand side.
Okay. Talking about backswings and backhands earlier, we were talking about, we see more and more, because of the tennis game, we see more and more players using a two-handed, which I find interesting, a two-handed backstroke. What are your thoughts, the benefits or downfalls, pros or cons? Either way, I mean, everybody's got their own thoughts.
I would say I'm using two-handed backhand too.
Okay.
In singles.
In singles?
In singles.
Why do you
because
do that?
I think I have, especially from tennis, I have more control of the ground stroke backhand with that, because there are two hands. And sometimes it's hard to have a one-handed backhand hitting consistently wherever you want it. My left arm to control the ball and just like hit it as a tennis stroke.
Can I ask you the question?
Yes.
Do you, when you do that physiologically, you shorten your swing? Because if you do a two-handed back stroke, you don't have as, I'm hitting my lamp here. you don't have as much reach. So you're saying, but you are quicker, so you can get closer to the ball. Yes. So what about the person who isn't so quick, who can't get all the way over to the ball, and they have to use, to stretch out, to use, or I don't know, I guess I'm trying to find the question here. What would you suggest to people to use? Or is that personal choice?
I would say it's personal choice, because if the ball is low, Slice
Okay.
backhand is also like one of my favorite shots. But if the ball is a little higher, I'm hitting the two-handed backhand, either cross or down. Every low ball, there is no way I can do it. And I'm not that confident with my one-handed backhand to hit it, so then I better slice or hit a dink or drop shot or something.
So it's basically positioning of the ball. If the ball's high, you're two-handed. If it's low, it's primarily a one-handed slice. All right. Well, our time, our half hour is coming up here, and we don't want to keep you long here. But I've got a kind of a what did you call it, Jack? A fast. What did you call it? Word. I'm going to give you a word.
I can't remember.
I can't remember either. Okay, so
do you remember, Lucy?
I
What
don't
do we
know.
call it?
A flash. What do we call it?
Rapid
speed
fire.
Rapid fire. Let's call it rapid fire. Okay. All right, Lucy. Here we go. This is what you're going to do.
Okay.
So this is called rapid fire. I've got 13 words here, or 13 short phrases, and I want you just to give me your first thoughts that come to your mind. It doesn't have to be long, just your first thought about what you think of the word. Ready?
Okay.
Okay. Dink.
Tough.
Soft. Soft. Okay. Shot placement.
Forehand.
Okay. Drive down the sideline.
What is that?
You're driving it down the sideline. You're a shot down the sideline, down the line. I guess I should say that different. Your forehand shot down the line. What's your first thought about that?
That's my favorite shot.
The favorite shot. Okay. A crossover step.
Singles.
Okay. Your forehand.
I like it.
The split step.
I think it's very important and not many people know about it.
Okay. An overhead attack.
As hard as possible.
Okay. A cross-court dink. To you or away from you, doesn't matter.
I will tell you that I can feel my legs after a long day of dinking cross court.
Okay. Sore. That's a good word. Around the post shot.
Amazing.
Okay. All right. The lost point.
Just focus on the next one.
Okay. The lob.
No emotions about that.
No, okay, no emotion on that one.
Okay.
Okay. The backspin. Or cut shot.
Slice. Can be very effective.
Very effective. And last one, winner down the middle.
Okay. I don't know. I like that shot too. Like any winner is a great shot.
Okay, I guess I should probably put like, okay, last play of the game, winner down the middle.
Yeah. We finished our match against Simone in Aspen, the first match. I hit a forehand down the line and it hit the tape from the net and it just hit him directly. That was the match point.
Oh.
Okay. That I didn't want to finish that way. It's not like a flashy shot, or something, but I guess you'll take it.
What do you call the ball? I mean, it's probably not politically correct, but we say Alibaba because the one that hits the tape and it kind of crawls over, and we call it the Alibaba. It kind of goes over the tape. What do you call those? The tape shots, besides just tape shot. You have any special names or any?
We are just lucky. Lucky. That's how we call it.
It's just a lucky shot. Well, Lucy, it's been a pleasure to talk to you. I wish you the best of luck, and I look forward to hopefully seeing you in person play. I have to get out and about in the world and start venturing out to those national games, and if not play, I don't know if my knees are going to hold up to play, but to at least go out and watch. So I look forward to seeing you play some more and continue your success.
Thank you for the interview.
Well, Claudia, before you leave, I wonder if you can tell us a little bit about your book.
Well, behind me, as you can see, actually the book sales have been going pretty steady. I've got a 10% discount going right now on pickleballcpr.com. For those people who are interested in purchasing the book direct, I've got go through Amazon. Go through Amazon, you can get the ebook. And some local efforts, including your own. People start requesting it through your libraries. They can start requesting it and tell them that they can purchase the online or the ebooks and get them available through the libraries, but they need to request it and get their libraries to purchase it through Overdrive. But book sales are going well, and I'm very pleased. And I'm actually this week I'm going to be going to the OFERD convention at the Ohio Association for the Phys Ed convention for Ohio up in Sandusky, and I'll be promoting the book up there and getting it hopefully into some schools and showing my teaching methods for creating the perfect placement shot or practicing the perfect placement shot, because I believe that's a key to a lot of drills and practice, not just keeping the ball in play. Because I still have a lot of people who are just like, I just want to keep it in play. It's like, well, you have to have a purpose. And if you don't have a purpose with your shot, then, you know, you're just putting the ball in play and you don't know what's going to happen next. And we were talking to Lucy. I said, when I'm playing with my nephew who's 30 years old and I'm almost twice his age, I'm always trying to set him up because he's faster, bigger, faster, stronger. I'm trying to set him up, and my practice is putting the ball in a place where my opponent's going to put it in a place where he can take charge of it when it comes back. So having a purpose is good. Thank you for asking.
And Lucy, what's coming up for you?
What's coming up for me? Well, I'm taking a little break from pickleball right now. I'm still playing at a club, but I'm not playing like real games. It's more still like keeping it fun. Christmas for 3 weeks, and then in January I'll be back and ready to go.
And you got a clinic coming up in Kansas City?
I will have a clinic in February, and then probably one more before the US Open.
Okay,
well, hopefully I'll be able to get out to Kansas there and get out there and work out with you.
That would be great.
And on Thursday, we're going to be chatting with Tyson McGuffin.
That's right.
Awesome.
So we've got that coming up on Thursday.
I'm looking forward to that.
Okay, you're going to be in Claudia's chair, asking all the hard questions to Tyson.
Okay, and I need to prepare for that.
You can just dink him some softball questions. How's that?
Oh, that's great. I'm ready.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, you guys. I appreciate it. And if you have any questions, put them in the description below, and we have links to Lucy's interview as well as Claudia's interview that we did later on in the year. Have a great day and enjoy your pickleball play.
All right. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And let's hang out in the green room for a few minutes before we sign off. Okay. Bye.